Okay, people, going live on the website this week, we have another 3 of the final 14 properties in Rio Del Oro. Why don't we have all 14? Why is this taking so long, I hear some of you asking. Let's just say the photographer is pacing himself, guys. To be certain, we need the light, we need the weather to be working in our favor, but that said, we don't want to rush things. Heaven forbid. Whatever the case, going live on the site this week, we have 3 of the larger lots that did not get photographed first time out, all over 1.25 acres, which means all of the photos you will see today are from the properties themselves. Additionally, if we go to our handy zone map we created for this subdivision, we will see that all of these properties are in Zone 5. So you're not too far from town, you've got some nice views of the mountains. Basically, guys, you're in what we like to call the sweet spot of Rio Del Oro. And of course, because all of these are over 3/4 of an acre in size, it means that they are all defined by the county as buildable and thus are able to be developed. Starting off, our first property is this combination of 5 adjacent lots totaling 1.25 acres, located here along a road the plat identifies as Bosque Loop, but which you will come to know as that dirt road. Now, it should be noted, guys, that this property is unique for a couple reasons. The first being the number of adjacent lots and the acreage. This much land, however small it may seem, is, as I have mentioned in the past, very, very difficult to come by in this region, number one. Number two, while the vast majority of the parcels in Rio Del Oro are these small rectangles, the lots we're showing you today are these long, skinny ones. How does this affect the cost of tea in China? Well, not much, guys. But the thing of it is, these long, skinny lots are, I think, basically useless unless you can combine enough of them to form one larger square property, giving you more reasonable lot dimensions on which to build a house or whatever. Point being, there's not a lot of these long, skinny parcels out here where you can find enough of them to qualify to build. You probably wouldn't want to because the property would be so awkwardly shaped, and thus, today's property, having both enough land and proper dimensions, makes it ideal for development. Additionally, because the neighboring lots have the same dimensions and are not all owned by the same company, you are less likely to have neighbors and more likely to be able to buy up the ones around you if you wanted to expand your boundaries. Either way, guys, it's just a large chunk of land with some good road access and some nice views worth checking out. It is also, by the way, the only one of this week's 3 listings which have available financing of $1,999 down and $200 a month for 29 months, or 180 days, same as cash. So if you pay it off on day 1 or day 180, you will only pay the cash price. Moving on, our next property is a combination of 4 adjacent lots forming this massive 1.36 acre cul-de-sac property located at the end of a road the plat identifies as Moontree Court and backing up to the aforementioned Bosque Loop. And if we go to the drone overlays, we can get a good sense of not only how good the road access is for this property, but also how massive it is and how it will afford whoever buys it the opportunity to develop an uncommonly large property in a really desirable location. And about 10 years from now, when people start to develop the land around it, all your neighbors will be super jealous of the fact that you own the entire end of a block. They'll be like, damn, yo, where'd you get all that land? And then you could be like, Hemingway land. And they'll be like, how do you spell that? And then you say, like the author. And then they'll look at you funny because apparently no one's ever heard of Ernest Hemingway. Don't get me started, people. Whatever the case, as we can see from the photos, this is another really pretty property with some nice mountain views and level terrain, easy to park, camp, or build on. Additionally, guys, if we go back to the map for a second, you can see that this one sits just south of the Rio Del Oro Loop, meaning that the road access here is even better because with this one, you just pull off the main paved road, drive about 1,200 feet south, and boom, you're home. And finally, guys, our last property is the largest, not only that we have this week, but in the entirety of the Rio Del Oro inventory. Get ready for this one, guys, because this is a combination of uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, something, 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 11 adjacent lots. Yes, people, if you thought your future neighbors would be jealous of all the land you owned with that last property, wait till you take over an entire block and a half with this 2.9, basically 3-acre property located along roads the plat identifies as Miraceros Ave, Allison Street, and Paris Lanes. Yes, guys, much like the last properties, this one is also a combination of adjacent lots impossible to find elsewhere, also has excellent road access, also has level terrain on which to park, camp, or build, and also has beautiful unobstructed views of the nearby Manzano Mountains. Additionally, guys, if we go back to the map for a second, you'll see that this one sits just off of the Rio Del Oro loop, meaning you could pull right off the main road and onto your property. And if we pull back on the map just a little bit more, you can see that this one sits just about 1.2 miles east of Valencia High School and all the development that's happening over there. So in combination with that and its location off one of the main arterials, my guess is power will be extending out to this area within the next few years, making this property ideal not only for development, but also buy and hold investment. Finally, guys, since we're talking about investment property in Valencia High School, while I have your attention, I just want to take a moment to talk a little bit more about one of the properties we have in inventory. So in the video from a couple weeks ago, I was showing you guys this property located a couple blocks east of Valencia High School here along Poco Circle, just north of Camino Rio. This is a quarter-acre lot we're selling for $19.50, which is, if memory serves, our most expensive single lot listing. Quarter-acre lot, $19.50. Just to give you guys a sense of how competitively priced some of these are, I just want to pull up Zillow here for a second. These are properties currently for sale in this exact same region here by the high school. You've got a half-acre lot right across the street, right across Poco Circle. They're asking $29,000. You've got a 1 acre just south of here where they're asking for $64,000. You've got a half-acre lot a little further down the road where they're asking for $12,000, and a 3/4 acre right across from it where they want $18,000. Now, to be clear, guys, some realtors are nutty and list things for wildly unrealistic sales prices. Additionally, this is a developing region with a high school, some nice homes, and probably more utilities than even I'm aware of. All that said, this guy wants $18,000 for 3 adjacent lots. We're selling 11 adjacent lots for $15,000. Additionally, all of our 3/4 acre properties, meaning 3 adjacent lots, are ones we're selling for $37.50. And this quarter-acre lot over here that I was talking about earlier, $19.50. You could buy that from us, immediately relisted for $5,000 or $6,000, and you are very likely to find a buyer in the next year and triple your money. That is hell well priced. I have made a lot of these properties. So if you haven't checked out the list, specifically this single lot, there's some really good deals on here. And by the way, guys, the reference number on this one is 54V, VLNM 0054V, Valencia, New Mexico 0054V. But we've also got 54T located just a little further down the road. That's 2 adjacent lots we're selling for $2,400. We will link both of them here under the video for anyone who is so inclined. With all that said, as noted earlier, guys, I will be on hiatus for a few weeks, but we will be posting more content on the channel during that time, some subdivision videos, shorts, things of that nature. You, of course, can stay up on the latest by subscribing to the channel, clicking the bell to be notified every time we post new and, quite frankly, amazing videos like the one you just watched, guys. And you can also follow us on Instagram. We're doing a lot more on Instagram these days, guys, doing a lot more on the socials, announcing properties, teasing upcoming properties, doing a lot of the special thanks stuff I don't get the opportunity to do here. So join the roughly 200 people and 218 Russian bots currently following us to be alerted there as well. In the meantime, voting starts this weekend in Nevada, so I'm very excited about that. Get out and vote, people. Get out and vote. Until next time, have a great election season. I will see you back here soon for another video.